What's up, y'all? How's it going? Yeah, Lunch and Learn. This is the daily Lunch and Learn. We're doing a live stream every single day this week. So we're doing it at noon today, tomorrow, probably on Saturday, and we'll do it all over the place. We're doing a couple tests. We're streaming from two different spots here. We got desktop up here and mobile down here as sources, and we'll see how everybody's doing. I'll cover chats from everybody. Let me know if there's anything that you want to go through, anything you want to talk about, any sort of help with teleport that you want, because there's just a bunch of different things that we can go through on all this stuff. So, yeah. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? Okay, we got people here, there, and yonder. First of all, for anybody who's didn't get the email or the notification this morning, don't need that. We just released a new app called ConjureCAD/cookie, and you can say, make yourself a cookie cutter just like this. Oh, I don't have a multiple views here, but the guy's on mobile, just like this. You can put in thing. I'm going to type in star, and then it will go ahead and auto-generate a new cookie cutter straight from that, which is, like I say, just released it. So there's the updated star, and then there's the new star file. And then if you want to, and if you're like buying it as a gift for people, you can buy now right there, and then a cookie cutter will be sent to you. So anybody, you can also download the STL right here if you want to. So if you want to make a whole bunch of cookie cutters for your store or for your teleport store, you can get them made over here real fast and easy. We just saw that there was a need for an easier app out there for creating cookie cutters and 3D printable cookie cutters. So we did what we do, and we went and made it. And yeah, so that's around. So that'll be handy. Your scheduled live streams are off by 1 hour. No, I don't think so. Our scheduled live streams, there might be a time difference there. We do them at noon every day or 12:30, kind of when it is, when there's time available. Today was a little bit weird. You can Cassie, yeah, you can upload a photo. That's also an option. You can upload a photo, you can ask it for a prompt from text, or do whatever you happen to want to do. But yeah, it'll generate a cutter from any of those. So that's how we're getting that done. Okay, let's see here. I have to film a couple of things here. So I'm going to live stream and actively film at the same time, because we also just released teleport. Teleport. We did an upgrade to teleport here yesterday. This project we've been calling Facelift, which upgrades teleport to just a new UI. So we did a new pass on the UI. It's much more flexible, much easier to work with. And we got it color coded in a certain sort of way that we like, and it's stylized way better than it's been before. So this is kind of, after like 2 years of work on teleport, we finally have teleport like fully finished, to the extent that anything is ever fully finished around here. But it's out. It was really exciting to get it turned loose yesterday. We've been nitpicking a lot of stuff on it for a while, but we turned it loose, and everybody seems to be quite satisfied with it, which is nice. So I'm really proud of the team for that. We did good work on that, and it's working, and it's available. And if you haven't tried out the new version of Teleport, I recommend going over and taking a look, because it looks pretty darn good. Okay, and even if you're not, I am currently going to go ahead and probably walk you through it here. How do I want to do this? No, I'm probably gonna have to do it here just like this. Okay, hold on just a second here, folks. I'm gonna do, need to log out in there. Oh, actually, if I go ahead and do it like this is actually fun I think I probably will actually just run through like this. And then if I go ahead and do, let's see here. I'll get back to chat here in just a second. Connect to Shippo. Oh, God. Wait, that's not right. Hold on. I'm gonna get this organized. Just freaking remembering logins for all kinds of stuff all over the place. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to do that because I could have sworn I had a login with Google on this, and apparently I do not. So I'll circle back around on that in a little bit. Okay. Okay, let's see here. What do we got for questions? Lunch break live, 3D printing design, manufacturing, Q&A, waiting scheduled for 1:15 at 11 a.m. Depends on, it must have a time zone difference or something like that, because we schedule it at 12. Maybe it was moved to a different time today, because I know there was a lunch meeting that I had at 12:30 that I couldn't get to, so maybe we did do it at 11 a.m. today. I don't know. Oh well, we got into it. Or people didn't send me a calendar invite for it to know where I'm supposed to be, but we're here. We got it done now. Wait, there wasn't even one scheduled. Today's the 15th? Wonder where it ended up. Because I didn't know about the scheduled one. There wasn't one scheduled inside of the app when I was going into it. Weird. Well, fine. That's why we're doing this, knocking them out. Singular login. Oh yeah, the new teleport. Yeah, it'll be a little bit different. The main thing that's a big difference is the actual, where was I going with this? The matching modal, which has been improved. So the matching section of teleport has been tweaked quite a bit to where you can just match quicker and faster. And I can share that actually. So let's see if I go, let me see if I'm, I can go through and do demos here. So here we go. Let me do a quick view change and see if I can just go ahead and go like this, which I kind of can, but I don't know which one it's using. Parker, if you happen to be watching, freaking, hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm going to edit the view here just a little bit. We do all this prep, and then it all just goes to pot. Hold on a second here. Properties, there we are. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't want that. I want this other tab. This is like really frustrating. Oh, I don't want a frickin' display. But we're doing the frickin' display. Okay, fine. We'll get, okay. There we go. All right, so this is new teleport. We'll get through this. Live streaming, map, and all the other things. So this is a new teleport. When you log into there, you end up on your files page. So you can mess around with all the files. First of all, you have your regular files right up here, which is really, really sick. I'm sorry, people on the phone, you're not going to get to watch. Go over to the other stream that comes from up here, and you'll be able to see it. But you have catalog files right here, and there's several hundred files inside of here, many of them cookie cutters right now. We actually just dropped about 100 Valentine's Day cookie cutters inside of there. So you can add these in, mess around with them, look at them all. Every one of them has details and that kind of stuff. So just like our normal cutters here, this is a lug bug from one of our videos for carrying babies around. You can go into here to details and mess around with different materials, and it'll instant quote for you, giving you dimensions and details and that kind of thing. You can also turn off support if that file doesn't need support, which can save you cost. So that's the files area. And then of course you can always upload your own files. You get all this stuff. Everybody who gets into Teleport now has premium for free. So you are able to just go ahead and get access to premium. If you were a previous user, you get premium for effectively forever, because we want to make care of the folks who have been working with us for so long. But premium gives you access to third-party parts and custom insert cards and everything else. So right here in matches, if you want to create a match, if you have items inside a teleport that have like come through before, you can, excuse me, one second, let me try something. I'm going to move the stream over to here so it's out of my view, but I can still see chat going by. So inside of matches, normally this would be area over here would be populated with items that have come by. So SKUs, item titles, that kind of stuff. And you can select one of them, or you can flip this little toggle and you go into manual mode. And if you know what your SKU is, SKU number _1, you can enter in the exact SKU, and then you can pick from your items. And if you're picking from your items, well, I want to look at this thing. And then you can go ahead and change the colors right here and change it to the different colors and different materials and all this stuff. And then you can add in some components. So I want this to have some magnets for whatever reason, and add in as many of those. And I actually want this part to be copied a few times. So there's that. And then you can put in a custom insert card where you upload this, and then you go ahead and create the match. And by golly, now every time SKU number _1 shows up, it works for you. Then you can go over here into the account, and then if you want to like manually submit certain orders to us, you can turn it off so that every order needs you to push it to us, or you can just have automatic orders turned on as recommended here, and that is fine. Or you can turn on Shippo or the other things. Here we go. Wait a second, let me do a refresh. And that'll get you covered on that. And then let's see here. Yeah, I haven't connected up any of those things, but going back to matches, now you can see your match here. So I had this part and I put 6 pieces into there, all packed together, and all of them can be printed. And then if I want to change it, come back over here. And then I'm like, oh, I want these other files also included in it. And if I go over here to filaments, I can set this color to be green and this one to be orange. And then all of these will be printed when we come through. And if I come back here to files, don't need 20 of those. So that's all good. These are all big files. But add in some of this stuff, add in a bunch of this, and oh, I also want some screws, and I want a knob, and I want a lamp, but rechargeable light bulb. And all that can be included in here, even though it's freaking expensive. And then I update that match, and then we replace that match, and now we're good to go. And look at all the fancy stuff. And then you have a full summary of the match, so that when this SKU comes through, all this stuff is made, thrown into a box, and sent. So it's really freaking sick. Let's see here. So Slant, I designed a 5-piece lamp that uses 6 screws. Is that something that Teleport can do? Yeah, Maker 209, literally what I just did there. You could, right here, if I go ahead and create a new match, I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to go manual enter mode, and I'm just going to set a Maker 209 _SKU_1. And then I'm going to go ahead and pretend that this file is your lamp. And then we're going to go ahead and say it's going to be a white lamp. And then we're going to go ahead and add in a light bulb. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and pretend it's a pendant lamp. So we've got a Philips Hue light bulb and a pendant light to be included with it. And then you probably want some screws, you said. So let's go ahead and put in some drywall screws. Those will work right there, and then create the match. And now your lamp is ready to be ordered and shipped whenever somebody orders it from Teleport. Of their hardware, we thought you were just really into your roller dogs and Dr. Pepper in the other stream. No, yep. I like Costco hogs and I like Dr. Pepper. Let's see here. Other questions for people. So yeah, Maker 209 Teleport can absolutely handle that. You can upload multiple files. Let's say this one's your lamp, this one's your lamp shade. Add those together. The lamp base, we'll go ahead and make it black, and then we'll make the lamp shade white. And now you have that match ready to go. And now it's updated. Okay, and then if we go back to regular matches here and just take a look, now we've got these multiple different matches, which is all good and nifty. And then, yeah, rolling from there. Ooh, I just found a weird thing in my view here. We're gonna get this fixed right now. Hold on, guys. You all on the stream are gonna get to see a bug fix live, because on this screen at this aspect ratio, we got some weirdness where our alignment's a little bit out of whack right here. So yeah, matches alignment, and then I'll send this off to other people. Let me change my view just real quick here so that I can email people and not accidentally share something that I shouldn't. Gmail, here we go. We'll have this fixed here in a few minutes. And, well, certainly by end of the day. We'll do a deploy at the end of the day. Compose. What is social? All right. There we go. Okay, what else? Example would be like adding instructions to a set of matches, but a thank you to other ones without having to go one by one. Yeah, in the matching, using manual entry mode, can you enter maybe the beginning of a SKU to see multiple of the same and then attach an insert card to all of those matches? You can attach an insert card to every single match. Also, though, if you don't want to do it like individually on a per match basis, let me pull this up. Wait a second. I've got 12 things. Okay, there we go. Here inside of the account page, if you scroll down here, you can set a universal insert card. So if you just upload one insert card here, this will default to all of your listings so that you can just have one that's branded for your store, and then you can get out the door. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, upload a card here that is for the full store or inside of matches. You can go ahead and edit the match and add in an insert card right here that is a special instruction or assembly instructions or a particular video, whatever it happens to be. Okay, what else we got? What areas do you think the most improvements in 3D printing could be made? Almost all of the big improvements that need to be done right now are in materials, both scalability and this is for Killian Reuter. Almost all the big improvements can be done in materials. Materials eliminate layer lines, materials create higher strength, materials create faster print speeds, materials create better properties and functions and that kind of stuff. So materials, it's all about materials. The machines, as far as I'm concerned, the machines have not changed since like 2018. And everybody's gonna say like, what about bamboo? And I'm like, bamboo integrated everything that was around really well and created a brand better than most people, which was new and different for the industry. But they're tremendously good at executing on stuff, but it wasn't like the core thing. Okay, let's see here. This is interesting today for people who are interested in like the live stream stuff. Today, mobile and desktop are operating about the same, which isn't normal. Generally, mobile gets a lot more. But we also have been doing a bunch of streams, so there may just be a difference. Plus, since we've been doing so many streams, there may already be fatigue of the people who want to come watch it, because watching me every day probably is not the thing everybody wants to do all the time. So we'll mess around with this because I'm fascinated to see how this goes. We're running this kind of side-by-side comparison of how many people find us down here, how many people find us up here, and how well that works as we go through it all. But yeah, let's see here. What else do you guys want to talk about? Maybe fill the walls with sand. What do you think about that? I'm not really a big believer in enclosures for printers. Printing from the Killian Ryder, the questions that you're asking, the thing that you need to do when deciding should this thing be improved is, does it create any value? Like your question of, do you think printing from the bottom up, like an upside down printer, if that's better, is it better? Does that create a functionality that is better, or is it just cool? If it's just cool, you shouldn't do it. If it's better, if it creates some component or feature or capability that didn't exist before, fine. Otherwise, you shouldn't do it. So always evaluate those types of ideas of like, does this thing create usefulness, or is it just interesting and weird? That's the big one. Hey, with Teleport, do you need to pay extra for post-processing of prints? I want to print something flat with little mouse ears that need to be clipped. Thanks. Yeah, every part that goes through Teleport is post-processed. So if there's supports on it, those are knocked off. If there's a brim, that's knocked off. Well, we generate the brim. But if you have the model with the mouse ears in it, generally they will be knocked off. But there are some people who make parts that look like mouse ears that are part of the model, like they're little flappers for the fish toy or something, and they're not meant to be removed. So if it's part of the model, I cannot always guarantee that they will be removed. If you need mouse ears for your model, I would pretty much trust our system because we're really good at getting the parts sliced. Like, our system is really intelligent right now to where errors very rarely go out, and if there's a problem with a part, we will manually review it and that kind of thing. So that's the stuff to do. Is there or will there ever be the ability for a consumer to pick a scale for a product and have the system auto cut the file into pieces if the scaling is larger than your print area, e.g. helmets? That's interesting, Jimmy. We haven't thought about putting that system in, but helmets in cosplay and Teleport, auto cutting them? Well, auto cutting them is sort of weird because it generally isn't very reliable if you automatically do it. But we've been building a lot of tools, and a slicer dicer, or, well, actually, I think you can probably do that. Can you do that in like Bamboo or Prusa? I feel like they cut up large models into sections that can be recombined. We're working on it. So like there's, yeah, we'd like to do more cosplay stuff around like helmets and things. It just hasn't been a push. If you're currently selling like helmets, reach out to us because we'd love to work with you directly so that we can build it out correctly for you. Because if we're just in a void working on it, we don't really know what to do. But yeah. So when I submit a design for printing a prototype, if there is no feedback in the order details about the design, should I assume my designs are good enough? Yeah. Yeah, Benjamin. If there's no direct feedback on the designs, it should be fine. If you did an order through Prototyper and you didn't get any feedback, yeah, generally the designs are fine. There can be human error where like a note isn't submitted or something like that, and the person writes it up but then doesn't hit submit before they refresh a page. That doesn't happen often, but yeah, if it printed out fine, then it should be fine. Generally, the first part is always kind of the weirdest too, because the team will work to fix the problems so that that part can go as is. If you submitted multiple parts, make sure to check the notes on multiple parts. So for anybody who's new, in your files page here, you will get notifications next to your files if there's like notes left on them during production. So it's like, hey, this has unsupportable areas or something like that. We tried to print it, but we couldn't. So we do whatever we can. So you'll see those notifications over here on this side of the page. Okay, I'm disconnected from what the stream currently is. I don't know. That's the actual live stream. Oh, here we go. I need this right here. Okay, I am on that, so perfect. Um, yeah, I'm dealing with the leg. Hi, new teleport portals pages. Looks neat. Thanks for the update. Oh, thank you. Yeah, actually, I have not. Let me check something here. Oh yeah, Portals is still the same. Portals is sick. If you haven't used Portals, it's effectively like an Etsy replacement to where you can upload a file and start selling in like 3 seconds. So it's super handy for folks to just get rolling there. And then you get this link, and then you can share the thing around. Oh, we set all these prices to 0. That's funny. Uh, trying to make the money. I wonder if I can make a new one. Like, here's a portal. Oh wait, no. I want to select from my existing files. We'll grab one of these. Awesome. Portals product. Buy this. And now it's set. And then if I had photos, I would have those, but I'm going to go ahead and just make that PETG black. And then I'm going to sell it for $12. And then I open that portal. And now the portal is opening. And there's the item. Oh, interesting. Ooh, I think I might have found another thing. Let me do some weird stuff here. Let me make sure I'm messing with this. This is so great because you get to see. I try to use portals and teleport as often as I can, but I don't always get to like go into some of the weird stuff because I set up my store a year ago, and it's tough to set up a new store every single time. I keep on doing it. Yeah, it's always tough to do some of these tests, but like right now when we do this big old revamp, there's a bunch of fresh eyes looking at it, and we can do some cool stuff. Let me put that over there because I'm multitasking. Oh, or is this meant to be like? Oh wait, no, that's not a bug. I'm sorry. Yeah, never mind. Right, I was going crazy here, and I think we might change the UI on this, but I was looking at the portals here, and I saw all these zeros. And these zeros are your sales on that product, and then you also have your total sales up here. But the sales rate, these are the sales of the products, and then inside the product is the actual price and that kind of stuff. So if you go ahead and go in here to edit it, there's all your pricing and details, and you can, of course, can view it if you want to. And then there's your portals item that's for sale, and anybody can buy that and go crazy. And yeah, here are other items from this person. We made the same item a couple times, so they're showing up from this. But overall, and if there's all kinds of things you can do with this, do we have a storefront? Oh, I haven't made a storefront yet for this, which we're not going to do that. But yeah, portals is there. But going back here, our analytics page is so much better than it used to be. It looks amazing. The guys did a great job on this. And then, yeah, just all the stuff. Like, it's just doing quite well. Let's see here. What everybody got in chat? Really liking the new teleport UI. Awesome. Thanks, Chipping Out. It's been, normally when we release an update, there's sort of this hoorah of people like, where is everything? Why did it move? I don't like this. Hey, you screw you, all this stuff or whatever else it was. But we released this and everybody's just been like super chill. And we kind of surprised everybody with it. Like, there wasn't a lot of lead in. I've been telling you all that we've been working on this, but not everybody watches these streams or these podcasts. So we weren't sure how many people would actually know when we signed in, because we got several thousand users on Teleport and Portals. But yeah, everybody's been super chill about the whole thing, and it's been great to see. Let's see here. I just realized my view of the Teleport Portals pages may have changed, as it says 76 days remaining of free premium. Doubly thanks. Oh, yeah. Everybody who's a past user there is getting grandfathered into premium. Premium gives you third-party parts and, yes, the insert cards and all this other stuff there. New users, in order to connect an Etsy store, will have to purchase premium. because there's just been like the operations of it all has just been too much. So we're changing it out a little bit. There will continue to be the free tier where anyone can get a hold of portals and sell items over there and that kind of stuff and use the prototyper on Teleport. So we want to make sure that it's still possible for anybody to create a store and start selling 3D printed items. But if you're a professional seller who's like moving volume and has an established store and that kind of thing, that's going to have premium and that kind of stuff attached to it. And then also, actually over here, in the context of subscriptions, we also introduced Enterprise. And Enterprise is for the really professional users who are doing like thousands and thousands of parts per month and want to get all kinds of special goodies. So they'll get custom pricing, custom slicing, custom packaging, basically anything they want. They can also have multicolor parts if they need them to, but they're like presets. So for the Enterprise, we kind of have more of a sales process with people to where it's like you apply to Enterprise and we're like, okay, what are the parts you're making? We qualify it, make sure it's going to work well for you. And then we go from there. So we're really excited about what that will do. And yeah, what everybody should be able to make from it. But yeah, the new Teleport is just a really big upgrade. And then of course, yes, everybody will continue to have free access to all kinds of super features. And then yeah, premium gives you everything more. Yeah, it's just really great. Would be cool in analytics if you could select, like if you use Etsy, so you could really see your profits. What do you mean there, Cassie? The thing with it is that since we don't get like sales data from Etsy, we can't really clear up your profits because we don't know how many fees they take and how much you paid for shipping over there because they're just separate systems. So we can only show the profit that you made on Teleport based on what we see for the price inside of there of like, you sold this for 25, you paid us $5 to make it or whatever it was. So it can be tougher to get that done. We are working on deeper Etsy integration, and the deeper Etsy integration will allow us to get closer on some of that stuff, but Etsy's really tight-fisted on like API access and stuff. So it might be more of a hassle. I'm running a farm with a couple employees now. Are there any softwares you recommend for keeping the team on the same page and flowing? Oh, Chris had this is the challenge of running a print farm. Every time a print farm, you are building out a factory. So you have to build all of these processes of managing people, managing machines, managing inventory, so on and so forth. I did that for a long time, and I realized it was so miserable that I had us build Teleport to help people avoid these problems. The softwares you can use, good ones probably at your stage, are like Trello for like daily and recurring tasks. And then like there's all the print farm control softwares that can do some job management. But the issue I always have with like the print farm management softwares is that they don't actually operate print farms. The print farm softwares that are made by developers who have like maybe 10 or 20 machines for testing and verification, but they most certainly don't have 1,000 machines or 100 machines. So they don't really know what is necessary. They also definitely don't have Etsy stores, so they don't know what is needed to make an effective solution. So I just don't know how to recommend those guys because I've never been able to find one that's like really good. We had to build ours from scratch so that we would get the flows that we needed. Our cracking control software runs our print farm, or our print farms. But I would say Trello for like task management because it integrates pretty well. If you are building out processes, working with not Node, somebody help me out. What is the design software that's really good for like note taking and sharing documents? Freaking not organization software. It's not this. Monday, no, not Monday, not Asana. Notion, that's what I'm trying to think of. Use Notion for like SOPs and that kind of stuff. Trello integrated with Notion for task management. And then I think right now of like the print farm softwares, Printago is probably one of the better ones because they just have enough of a user base that they get good. Notion, yep, Notion. Can you please Add an option for social proof of sales to be visible, like sales and maybe in storefronts under their price label. Another label with the total number of sales. Abdul, we haven't been doing that. The reviews in portals will show up eventually, but the social proof on sales number we don't want to publicly show, because you end up becoming a scraping platform where people are like, oh, this one's the most popular, I'm going to go make 12 portals of that, and we don't want that. Portals is about a creator with a following creating it, and if it works for you, great, but other people don't need to know. The social proof of your sales should come on like your Instagram page where you're promoting this. If you, portals is designed for social media to where it is the checkout page for your Instagram page. That's what it's meant for. So your Instagram page becomes the area of social proof. How many followers do you have? How many people comment how great they love the item that you bought? That's the thing. That's how we recommend people use it, because we can't build a full e-commerce platform. We don't have the time or the money to build a marketplace. The era of marketplaces is kind of gone. For portals to become like a marketplace equivalent to Etsy will either take a very long time or a lot of money that like we just don't have a hold of, because advertising is just so expensive. Building up that kind of an ecosystem is just stupidly expensive. Oh, I don't need that anymore. Okay. I'd like to sell a product which has 4 parts. Do you have any suggestions for bringing the cost of the total product down? Best to have them all on one build plate. Any other considerations? Hey, Toast. Yeah, you can combine a couple of them on a build plate. If it's only 4 parts, that's not that big of a deal. We recommend never batching more than 5 parts on a build plate. But if you're trying to bring the cost down, you really need to check your pricing, because a lot of people do this. They think that the cheapest option is the direction to go, and you don't want that. If your product has like thin margins where it costs $5 to make and you got to sell it for $6, don't do that. Don't even go down that road. It's not helpful to you. That product is a dog. Get something that you can make for $5 and sell for $25. That's what you want to look for. I'm going to share a link in chat. Pricecalculator.com. Misspelled that. 3dprintpricecalculator.com. Calculator.com. Okay, yes. We need to change that URL because I spell it wrong every time. Nobody else is going to survive. This app, 3dprintpricecalculator.com, is an app that we built that allows people to really get nailed down on pricing. We actually just did an update to it here the last day or so too. You can now have the currencies changed to your local currency. So we've got all the world currencies and conversion rates into it. So it was working only in USD. Now it should work in euros and rupees and everything else. I don't know if we had Bitcoin in there, but it also just runs through the business. So if I go, let's just go here. Printpricecalculator.com. So the first thing you do is say, how many parts do you make per month? If you're new and starting out, you're probably making 100 or less. You can upload an STL if you need to. I don't have an STL on me, so I'm just going to run with this and say my part is 100 grams, kind of a large part. Here's your cost per spool. Okay, I'll get filament for cheap and buy it for $15 because I got a deal on Amazon. Then you need to pay someone to do the work, either yourself or someone else. So you run through that and you're like, oh, it takes 15 minutes it's $15 per hour. I'm going to post-process this part for 5 minutes and pack it up for like 1 minute. And then the customer's going to call and ask for returns. So I got to spend some amount of time per month doing that. So that's the cost there. Are you going to do free shipping? Maybe, maybe not. I'll skip that for now. Failure rate, some part of your prints are going to fail. How good are you at it? Most print farms operate at a failure rate of about 15%. Maybe you're pretty good and you're down around 5. We average it out at 7 for everybody because that's generally kind of what you see. But if you see a print farm with 10 machines, 2 or 3 of them are generally broken and they failed those prints. You have electricity. Electricity is almost nothing. Printer depreciation is for real. If you spend $300 for a machine and it runs for 5,000 hours, you're paying 12 cents for this part for the machine wearing out. If the machine is more expensive, but also runs for more hours, the depreciation is different, but still not a lot, but it's there. And then are you going to pay yourself? You need to make some amount of money per month, or you can work for free. And then you have your rent. Even though you're making 100 parts per month, you got to pay for the room that the printers are in, and that is rent. So if it's like a little 500 square foot bedroom, you're paying for that. Maybe it's only 200 square feet. It's a small little 10 by 10 room. There we are. Yeah, a 10 by 10 room, 100 square feet for a 10 by 10 bedroom or office or something like that. And you make 100 parts per month. Okay. And then you have taxes, of course. You can set whatever your sales tax is because this is useful to the customer, but there's like actual income taxes. And we haven't included actual income taxes yet. We need to put in your income taxes, because if you make $7, you're going to pay income taxes on that. And then you also have platform fees. So like if you're selling on Etsy, you have the Etsy platform fees, where if you're selling this for $9.99, you're going to pay $2.75. But to maintain a margin of 50%, you got to get $9.99. Or you can go for a margin of 25%, and now you're offering less. So 3dprintpricecalculator.com, really good tool for people, and folks should use it. FYI, these streams have been super helpful, especially for me, since I'm considering opening a shop this year. It's been in my when are you starting phase for a little bit far too long. Thank you. Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it. Hopefully we get these down to where they're consistent and reliable. And everybody knows what time it is, and it's on my schedule. We've been experimenting with it all the time, all over the place, so we should start to get better at it, to where people can be expectant of it. We're just trying to figure out the right way of doing this kind of stuff. There was an indication that like mobile was way better than desktop for filming stuff, and right at this moment, it's really not. They're kind of running neck and neck. When setting up my portal store, it had to be named in alphabet letters only, which meant I had to spell out a number. Can that be fixed so numbers can be in the names, please? Oh yeah, folks have asked about that. We're working on getting around to that. We just released the teleport upgrade, so we're getting back around to that. But yes, that should come available. But to be fair, numbers in the title of the store are not great. I understand you're probably calling yourself 3D. Don't do that. That's bad branding. If people call themselves Cookie Cutters 3D, that's bad branding. Don't do that. No customer cares that you're called 3D. They want something that they can remember. And numbers inside of a word generally is not very good branding. Just kind of as a rule of thumb. Just keep uploading to teleport. Yeah, Toast357. If you're in teleport, let me pop this up. F5. Oh, wait, no, I want this one. If you're inside a teleport and you go to your files, you can just upload a pile of the files. And then if you click on details, the price per file shows up inside of there. And then estimated shipping. And shipping can vary a bunch based on how far it's going. So we can't estimate that without a destination zip code. But yeah, the print cost there, and you can run through different materials and all this stuff, and it'll instantly reprice it. And you can go down there, see it in PETG, and all the different things. So yeah, just bulk upload your files, and then you can run through details, and each one of them will have pricing. So you don't even have to go through Prototyper. That's the little hack for getting quick pricing on all this stuff. Okay. Anything else? I don't think so. What else was I supposed to do today? I was supposed to walk through new teleport, but like this works pretty well. I'm supposed to do a demo video of this, but yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you made teleport way easier. Let's see. The currency at the end and not at the beginning, so you have to enter it all in USD first. Oh, that's a fair point, Jimmy. I'll have that fixed. We'll make sure that's fixed. We actually what we need to do is need to add in a settings page that's like, what is your state income rate, or well, what state are you in, or like what's your origin? We should just ask you for your origin zip address, because that also helps with estimate shipping. So we should say, what's your origin zip address, and then how many parts per month, and that auto defaults everything in there. And those are like the baseline pieces of info you need for the rest of the pricing. By the way, we default to a 50% margin. That's what we suggest everybody have minimum. So yeah, whenever doing that, you want to do that. I just realized nobody saw what I just did. We will probably put in a zip code input up here at the top of the price calculator, so that it just automatically finds out what the tax rates are in your area and what your cost of shipping would be down here at like estimated shipping. So you can just put in a destination zip code and know what's up, rather than, yes, having the currency down at the bottom. But we were gonna build this all out a lot more, so it was more necessary. And most people just want to know what the SDL costs. So the more stuff we put up here up top, the slower it is to get to the point. But yes, Jimmy, we'll get that upgraded so that you can put in the currency sooner. Yeah. It sucks that customers still have the feeling that 3D printed parts are bad quality. I get those kind of reviews all the time. Chris, you'll want to check your print quality, because I have never had a customer who purchased a 3D printed part complain about it, unless it was like a 3D printing nerd. You might want to evaluate your processes there, because customers in general, the normal consumer, we sell thousands of parts. Our teleport users sell thousands of parts that are 3D printed at a 0.2 resolution and stuff, and have supports, and sometimes supports leave what supported undersides. Customers never complain about that. It's always the package didn't arrive or not. You may improve your photos. Maybe people are being misled somehow accidentally by your photos if you like blended off layer lines and they didn't realize it was 3D printed. But customers, so long as the part does what it's expected to do when it shows up, customers very rarely care about that. So you may check some of your other presentation to see if there's issues there that are contributing to this. Alrighty, guys. We are coming up on time. Holy cow, these hours are going fast, but this is great. Okay. LOL, 3D is in my name. Guess I better change it. Yeah, Cassie, I would recommend getting rid of the word 3D. I know it's tempting to do that, but it doesn't help the sales at all. Find something clever, like, because you're doing lamps, I believe. Yeah, something lamps. Glow Forge. Well, that's his company, so you can't use that, but something like that. Would there ever be room in your business model for microprint stations or print shops where fewer employees could run fewer machines in a denser node network to improve logistics? We're going to continue to build out print farms. Our expectation right now is that we need to build out basically a print farm in every major city that serves as a fulfillment station there. Going much smaller than 500 machines is not very economical, so we won't build a farm smaller than that for quite some time. That doesn't mean never, but in this moment, where we're going right at the moment, we need to build out like 1.5 million 3D printers to match the output of an Amazon, to deliver parts that fast, and make sure that people can just upload a file and instantly have it delivered to people. So that is kind of the direction that we're going. Small print farms, we explored like shipping container print farms like 5 years ago, and it was just too small. The demand was too high for what one of those things could output. So that's where we are. Okay. Prince Charming was taken. Prince Charming is actually a pretty good name, but I think I have seen that somewhere. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up there. We're doing these streams every day. The next one tomorrow should be at noon, I believe. I'll double check with the team who's been scheduling it and make sure that I'm showing up at the right time at noon. So hopefully that one's correct. So if anybody has additional questions, I'll be available for lunch tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.